Patrol packaging for today's calendar. Surprisingly not intended for me. So the boys will get to open this after kindergarten today, and they'll be so excited about this paper. They have yet to discover this pile of presents. Good morning, or I don't know, do we say in English like is it just good morning, good afternoon, or in Norwegian we have like good morning, good pre-noon, good afternoon, blah blah blah, but the time between morning and afternoon. Anyways, happy lunchtime. Work was, did you know that in retail, like Black Week and December is the busiest time of the year? Well, obviously, but it's hectic. But I decided that I will take a lunch break, and I want to open my advents for today, except for the Paw Patrol one, which will be for the kids when they get back. Didn't plan ahead today, so you'll have a live me rummaging through my bag to find number 3. Thought I had it. That was 13, 23, 3. So mitten number 3 with a old. Okay, I'm realizing my English vocabulary doesn't always impress me, but in Norwegian we would call this gammelrosa, so old pink. Like, yeah. I don't know if I've shown this on the podcast yet, but this is my Trondheim World Championship of Skiing sweater that I knit in this last spring. We had the championship in February, March, yeah. And it is all over color work, extremely detailed. This chart is just chart reading, and the back is different. It has some people, and this chart is supposedly if you see a Viking ship from the top. And then this chart was like cut off, so I changed it to say VM, which is World Championship, and then the other side I have 25. So if you see the whole back, it says VM 25. And did I do the Trondheim at the top? No, I think my mom did that on hers. And the colors, I just chose stash yarn for the like grayish and the brown. This is from Faroe Islands. This is some hand dyed from Fabel Knitwear. And then the yellow and green is the main color of the 2 versions that I knit for my kids. So we have matching-ish. Oh, and then there is a 5th color that's quite hard to see from afar, but it's this like dark beige or light brown. So I haven't seen another version like mine, but these are very much like my colors. So that was a tangent. Next up, my Tante People Poser handmade advent calendar lucky dip of the day. I'm just picking at random. Ooh, some tea. Excellent. I've already had a few cups of tea today to try to combat my brewing cold, especially in the mornings. Like I am so like croaky. So this one is apple, cinnamon, and raisin. Yeah. As you might have guessed from my little like morning sneak peeks, we did a bit of a lazy morning today with me not in the mornings when my throat hurts and stuff. I don't necessarily want to get up at like before 6, but my kids have both been sleeping in my bed for the last part of the night. So today they actually slept in, so that we didn't wake up until like 6:15. But they wanted to watch their little like their TV advent in the morning. So I persuaded them to agree to watch it in bed so that I could lay like half awake, half asleep next to them and watch it. And then they wanted oatmeal, so the 3-year-old made oatmeal, or I pour it in like the measure up things, and then he has to do the mixing. And then we turn the rest of the oatmeal into pancakes for their lunchbox, and then I have to pick them up a bit later than I would normally do today, since I have a appointment with my personal trainer in a few hours. So then a bit later arrival. I don't know. We had a nice time. And no snippets from the morning walk today, because the ground outside is pure ice. It's so slippery. I was happy that we postponed the walk to kindergarten this morning, because it was like plus degrees yesterday. So then when it froze during the night, thankfully the tractors had been out with like pebbles, I don't know, tiny stones that they put on top of the the ice. So it's a bit easier to walk, but it's still horrendous. So I'm guessing it's melting a bit now, and then probably freezing again tonight, and then the pebbles just sink into the ice, and mornings are a hazard. But for some, I've been able to keep on top of it in my driveway, but then it doesn't really help when my neighbors mostly drive. So then my part of the driveway can be as ice-free as I want it to be. I still have to walk over their ice. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to have a tiny bit of a knitting break, catch up on some Vlogmases, make some lunch, and then back to my mail or my work inbox to see if we can get on top of that. I mean, thankfully, not everything is up to me, so some stuff is sent out and others are hopefully fixing whilst I have a tiny little break. Sometimes it's hard to be only like a part-time employee, because even though I've filled my hours, the tasks aren't all necessarily done. So then we'll see how it goes. Not every day is going to be as busy. What else? Yeah, I have my gym appointment today. I will not be vlogging any of that, thank you. I can, I don't know, show the building. No, we'll see. And then I was going to go to IKEA, but I don't have the time. And after kindergarten, my boys and I are going downtown to like family church choir practice. We have I'm saying concert is taking it probably a bit too far. We're singing at this like Christmas tree party. Sounds just more like a Christmas celebration at the church next weekend, and it will be interesting. The practices are often just the adults singing and then the younger kids just running around playing drums or whatever, but it will be interesting to see what happens next weekend. So yeah, I'm gonna sit here, knit a little bit. I think I showed me working on this yesterday, but without introducing it. So I'm knitting this not for myself, but on like a favor slash commission slash, yeah. It's maybe it's called Trust, I think, tillit or trygghet or something. It's like a Skappel Sophie Elise sweater. And the yarn called, I think it's called Meek. It's kind of like Drops Air, just probably way more pricey than Drops. Blown wool yarn. Oh yeah, and I guess Drops Air is also some alpaca. I think this one is just wool and then the nylon like casing. Not my style necessarily, but as long as she's happy. So it has center braid and then some side braids. The thing is just the gauge is just so loose, because I think you could knit this yarn on a 5mm needle, because it's kind of like the Punal Petite-ish, maybe a bit thicker, but this is on an 8, so it's very loosey-goosey gauge. So it's not, the thing is, I know it's not going to hold its structure very well over time, so then it's kind of like a, yeah, I don't know if you know the, like, knittings, the feeling of knitting something knowing that the end result is not going to be great, but then it's not for me. I didn't choose the yarn, I didn't choose the pattern, but it's 8mm needles. It's gonna go by relatively quickly. Yeah. Oh, I see kindergarten has sent me a message, so gotta check that and then make some lunch. So much for that lunch break, huh? Okay, at least I get a walk in for the day. Guy that's doing some tile work in the apartment called, so I have to go get over there to let him in and everything. And yeah, the weather is gorgeous though. I made it to the gym with about, what, 2 minutes to spare? 1 minute to spare? Okay, so now return the car, pick up the kids. Didn't have time for the IKEA trip that I was gonna squeeze in, but stay tuned for IKEA another day, I guess. A little evening segment before I round off So we went to the choir practice, which was a chaos as per always. We took a potluck dinner that we arrived a bit late because pickup at kindergarten took a while. We missed one bus, the other one was late, but the potluck was fine. They're good. Almost all the food disappeared, which is a good sign. And then after practice, we went by the mall to look for a very particular style of Christmas sweater, because the eldest was in distress because his tree wrecks. I think that probably Merry Rexmas, or I don't know, some sort of dinosaur Christmas sweater that my parents bought him a year or two ago. Shockingly, it was too small. So he wanted a new dinosaur Christmas sweater. Didn't find an approved one. Went by the Christmas market just a teeny bit, like that you probably saw, and then we took the bus home. And now I'm just getting some laundry done, and then I will be going to bed. So I brought along the Advent present for them to open on the bus, and they were so excited. And we did a little reading. I did cheat. I cheated a bit because could kind of have a hunch that it would be some sort of book situation. So I had a tiny little sneaky to see if it would look most like a coloring book or a reading book, because if I just saw like blank pages, I didn't want to have them open it on the bus and then not be allowed to draw because we didn't bring crayons. But I just looked through and saw like colored corners, so I'm like, most likely not a coloring book. And it was a children's book with I Love You Stinky Face, like a bedtime story. So we did a read through of this book, live, directly translated to Norwegian, because my kids don't speak English yet, on the bus, or the whole bus to hear if they wanted. And they really enjoyed it, so when we got home, we had to read it once more. Which is a good sign for they pick their favorite books and then we read those to bits. So I'm excited to see if this one falls into rotation or what happens. So yeah, I started a Hallmark movie yesterday that I watched about 20 minutes of. So I might hop in my pajamas and watch the rest of that whilst this uploads. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll chat with you again tomorrow. Good night.